Star Wars Rebels Season 3 Episode 4 was a Hera-centric episode entitled Hera's Heroes, and it's all about, well, Hera going home. And we find out that Hera goes home and she meets her family, but of course, because this is Star Wars, it's never a happy reunion because we find out that the Empire's presence is there. This episode, I was going into it kind of wondering what they were going to do with Hera. I was wondering if they were going to give her more lore and more backstory, and they definitely did accomplish that here. But the big thing I think they also did with this episode was give us more of an idea of Grand Admiral Thrawn's tactics, and as well as his incredible ability to do research and be a manipulator, because he's all over this episode. We haven't seen him since the season premiere, and now he's here. The interesting thing that I picked up on with this episode is that the first half really felt like a Star Trek episode, like a classic, 60s era Star Trek kind of adventure on a planet type thing. And then by the end of the episode, it really became pure Star Wars. And I kind of felt that the last half of the episode was kind of rushed. Like the first half, honestly, the whole episode was kind of rushed. And I kind of understand why, because they only have a certain amount of time per episode, but I almost feel like this would have been better if they stretched it down to being 2 parts. But maybe they were worried that people weren't that interested in Hera's character. I really don't know, but I can tell you that it certainly felt like things happened way too fast by the end. Like it almost ended and I was like, huh? Had to rewind and watch it again. So another thing I picked up on in this episode too is that we were promised before Rebels started that this season was going to be a little more violent. Well, maybe not promised, but we were kind of hinted that this season was going to be more violent. And boy, was that the case here. There's a scene where they blow up some stormtroopers, trying to rescue Hera's family. And the whole planet, really. And they blow them up, and it was kind of, it wasn't super graphic, but it was kind of surprisingly graphic for a Disney animated series. I was like, whoa, the way that they just showed them blowing up. I thought they would just do that classic thing where you see explosions around them. No, you actually see them, blow up right in front of them. Grand Admiral Thrawn was great, though. I really like the way he talks with this creepy, slow voice. Kind of I don't know if I really picture him talking like that when I was reading the old Thrawn novels. Maybe I just thought that he talked I guess maybe like Tarkin, right? I kind of pictured him being more like a Tarkin type, but he's very slow in the way that he talks. And they have a very nice scene where Hera is captured, and we find out about Hera's family and her parents. I'm not going to go into too many details here. I don't want to spoil the whole episode, but pretty much he's ruthless. He has extremely ruthless tactics. I really like that, but he's also a great manipulator. I thought he was a great manipulator here, and I thought it was the episode kind of had a little bit more, not too much, but a little bit more bonding between Hera and Ezra. And I think this episode was needed because I've always kind of felt that Hera's character was a little bit one-dimensional. I thought the character was a little bit kind of boring and stale, but this episode did add some layers to her. Now, I'm not sure if she's going to be that interesting going forward, but they really needed to do something like this to make her interesting. I liked it. I really did. I had a fun time watching it. I don't know if it compares to the first 2 episodes, but I really did like this episode. Also, one thing I will note, if you haven't seen the episode yet, and if you have, you know what I'm talking about, Hera's tactics to free her father and all that at the end of the episode or whatever in the climax, I thought was pretty awesome. She'll do her trick to getting them out, was so damn, she would do anything to free them, so it was interesting. I just thought this episode was going to be a little bit, I kind of expected more, but again, it just kind of felt rushed, but it did do what it needed to do, which is get me to care a little bit more about Hera's character. But again, she's not going to be my favorite anytime soon. Anyways, what did you think about this episode? Let me know in the comments. Did you like this episode? Are you enjoying Star Wars Rebels Season 3 so far? And what do you think about the violence? Are we expecting to see more violence, more Star Wars kind of classic trilogy, limbs being cut off type stuff? Do you think they'll go that far or not? The blinding of Kanan was already pretty crazy, but do you think but that was last season. Do you think they're going to go even further in this season? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, of course, and subscribe to Geekdom 101 if you haven't. Thank you, as always, for your support. I'll talk to you guys later.